So, Marvel Studios might have just had its biggest leak ever if it isn't controlled marketing and if it isn't Marvel actually putting it out themselves via an artist professional dashboard that somehow someone came across. But realistically, it's only showing certain characters, but it's not showing any of the main Avengers outside of the young Avengers. It all seems a little bit sus to me. So, yo, what is good, YouTube? What's you here? If you are new around it, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel DC guys, you much diverse pop culture based content that I try to deliver on a daily basis. If you could, subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below. Is this a real leak? Is Marvel doing this? Did Marvel plant this? And also, we have to understand what concept art is because it doesn't really tell us that much. Also, check us out on Instagram at Warstu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful face. And also check us out on Twitter, WarstuG. So, concept art is actually a form of visual art used to convey an idea for a film, video games, animation, comic book, so on and so forth before the final product, before it's put into the final product. Now, why I say this is, right, because I assume everyone is going to share this and throw this absolutely everywhere. And don't get me wrong, I think Doctor Doom looks like he's got Sing Jong Woo or Gojo or any of the greatest anime characters' aura. Don't get me wrong, I think Doctor Doom looks freaking badass. We get to see God, Emperor Doom. We get to see She-Hulk, Hulk's son, Hulk, and a bunch of other Hulks in the background. And there's so much stuff, and a new Black Panther potentially. But I don't actually think a lot of this is for Avengers Doomsday if it's real. I think a lot of this is actually for Secret Wars. Yeah, we see what looks like Stephen Strange. It looks like Sue Storm. It looks like God Emperor Doom on a throne in some kind of medieval time with Reed Richards on the floor and Yelena Belov, Black Widow kind of being the mercenary here. But Marvel hasn't taken anything down. They haven't taken anything down. And this all comes out, ironically, after the train wreck that was Captain America 4. So, bad press. Now Marvel will be trending for the next few days because of said images. It just seems a little bit sus to me, the timing of it. Now, don't get me wrong, these leaks are insane. Finally, I can put a title and mean it. So now everyone's going to be like, yo, Spider-Man 4 is going to have to be set in Battleworld because it takes place after Avengers Doomsday. We don't actually know if this is true. It releases after that. And then lots of people could come to the conclusion Spider Island may be used in Spider-Man 4, lots of Spider-Man variants, and that's how we get to Miles Morales, Gwen Stacy, you know, Null, the God of the Symbiotes, and Spider-Man 2099, so on and so forth. Just the concept of this concept art coming out has got people's minds blown because it pretty much will be some variation of 2015 Hickman's run. And we do see one image that could tell us that maybe it's Planet Hulk, or it could be like in the Secret Wars where the Badlands is, the Baron of Tribal Hulks, because we see a lot of different Hulks. And some people even seem to think this image is for a World War Hulk movie. But like I keep saying, Marvel does not hold the rights, so they can't do that. But if said concept art is real, they could actually be building up a World War Hulk-based storyline in either Avengers Doomsday or Avengers Secret Wars. Marvel is definitely cooking. Don't get me wrong. Marvel is definitely cooking. And some of these images from the artist's art station does actually look like panels stricken straightly from a comic book panel. But a lot of it is questionable. Like, why don't we see Sam Wilson, Captain America, Scarlet Witch? We don't see Captain Marvel, Thor. Where are all these characters? So we don't know. No one's actually officially said. It's official concept art, I understand that, but I also understand this doesn't really mean much. Although a lot of people will say, yeah, this confirms everything. It doesn't confirm anything. It does confirm the following, potentially, that Battleworld is going to be some kind of medieval time, potentially. You can see from the image where it looks like God Emperor Doom's there. Also, wherever the Hulks are, it could be that. And imagine if there is different realms or regions with different variants and villains are ruling each one of them, and the aesthetics looks like it could be like Game of Thrones or maybe medieval time. And that could be why we see God Emperor Doom with what looks like, 616 Stephen Strange, he's disappeared, and Sue Storm. Like, it looks like they're trying to follow the comic book. But also, you got to remember, the Russos said it's radically different from what you're expecting. It's going to be challenging for the audiences. So is Marvel showing us what they want us to think? So you could assume that Doctor Doom is going to destroy the multiverse at some point, right? Leading to Secret Wars. And then the rest of either, Doctor Doom's movie, Doomsday, or Secret Wars will be on Battleworld. And Doom will be like, the God Emperor Doom that rules over all of it. But then essentially, I still think that this isn't the real Doom. And realistically, this is Iron Man. And the real Doom is going to be someone like, one of the greatest actors ever, Mr. Oppenheimer himself, Cillian Murphy. So I do believe this leak is real, right? But it's concept art. To me, it doesn't really mean much. As of time recording this video, a couple hours after this coming out, Marvel hasn't taken down TikTok videos or I've not seen any YouTubers. I don't really follow anyone, but I've not seen anyone that I follow post that their content's getting taken down. And yes, it does look like we get a new Black Panther, but it looks like Black Panther's son, but when he's older. So you could really run away with multiple different scenarios of what Marvel is cooking. But is it Planet Hulk? We don't know. But there's lots of Hulks around this image. It looks like Hulk in this image. At least it's just an image. Concept art doesn't mean it's real, doesn't mean it's going to be the end product. That's what concept art is. It's literally just throwing ideas around. It's not factual. And you've also got to remember, this wasn't the original plan. The original plan was Kang. So Marvel has pivoted this way. It looks like Hulk's going back more towards the savage Thor Ragnarok version of Hulk, who was an absolute monster. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely freaking hyped for this. Absolutely freaking hyped. But at the same time, concept art doesn't really reveal that much, does it? It does. We see a bunch of characters, but there's nobody in these images that we didn't expect. We expected a new Black Panther. We expected God Emperor Doom. We expected Strange. We expected literally everything we see in these images. Where is Captain America? Where is Thor? Where is all, Scarlet Witch? Why are they hiding stuff? And if this was an artist who uploaded stuff to their professional work website, how did someone randomly come across it? Is this some variance of foul play? Is this a controlled leak? I believe it's a controlled leak. Now, they did start to take stuff down on Twitter. I only know this because I made a post and it says this post was deleted, which I also find interesting. So is it real? Yes, but you've got to understand what concept art really is. So yeah, the internet will blow up. It won't break because you can't break an internet unless servers start crashing. That's realistically what breaking the internet means. And yes, we also got some first look images for the Fantastic Four, which does confirm Franklin Richards, aka one of the strongest characters in the whole freaking universe. And now it's going to be Captain Central of fake leaks, realistically. But these images are real, but they're not really that indicative of the overall plan. We see White Vision kind of hugging Star-Lord. We see all the young Avengers next to each other with Star-Lord, with Wong, with Miss Marvel, with Scarlet Witch's kids, so on and so forth. But the interesting thing is, as outside of God Emperor Doom, which most people already assumed was going to be in this movie, it doesn't reveal anything. That's why I find it kind of interesting that people are freaking out saying, yeah, Marvel is cooking. Well, the aura with that Doctor Doom image, yeah, sure, I get you, lads. And I won't actually put the images in this video. I'm not that stupid. They will be on my Instagram channel. If you want to go over there, the channel page on Instagram. I'm not stupid enough to put these images in a YouTube video because they are concept art and they are real in that sense. But ultimately, doesn't mean that these are indicative to how the overall film is going to go. And yes, concept art from Infinity War and Endgame did end up in the movie, but we don't know how legit these are. So if Doom is going to have a team of vigilantes or villains working for him, King Thanos, Kang, there's so much time to cook now with God Emperor Doom and potentially battle world with the villains ruling over some part of the other regions in battle world. Potentially you could get Red Hulk break out of the Hulk. There's so much potential here for epic greatness, but I'm not really convinced it's real in the sense of, why are they only showing certain characters? Why do certain things leak? To be honest, is it Latveria? Is it medieval time? It looks more medieval to me than actually Latveria, but it could be and either or. It could be anything, to be honest. And you got to remember, they have kind of rushed the plot because they had to pivot away from Kang to bring Doom in. So it's interesting. So you will see lots of random fake leaks. And it's also interesting how the fake ass scoopers reacted to this, mostly making out they all knew this was coming, but they didn't. So I'm a bit dubious about, is this leak actually real? It is the biggest leak, but at the end of the day, it's also concept art, which could portray and could land, sure, into what happens in Doomsday Secret Wars. These images look more like they're towards Secret Wars for me. And yeah, you could say, yeah, maybe Spider-Man 4 would take place now in Battle World, but who actually knows? So what did you think of God Emperor Doom? How much freaking aura does Doctor Doom have? And is there anything that you noticed that other people didn't notice? I did want to put a video out, but there isn't realistically much to say from these images. It doesn't really reveal a lot other than pointing out characters and potentially thinking what could happen. We know Doom's going to rule the multiverse at some point and end it, and then essentially make Battle World, and then heroes and villains fighting each other, or some kind of variance of that. But the Russo said it's radically different and will challenge audiences in new ways. So I'm convinced that Kevin Feige has cooked this leak. I'm convinced it's a fake leak in that sense. So likewise, guys, I'll catch you in another video, guys, very soon. Catch you later.